Local, late breaking.
Right now on NBC5 News Today, we're waking up to the aftermath of heavy rain 1 year after devastating floods last July. We've got live team coverage looking at the damage this morning as communities face evacuation orders.
So please, New Yorkers, be vigilant. Every corner of the state is exposed to this triple threat of high heat, thunderstorms, tornadoes together, as well as heavy, heavy rain.
Plus, some North Country roads flooded this morning. The latest on closures as crews look at the damage done ahead of a big cleanup.
And the rivers continue to rise this morning. We'll show you which rivers are at greatest risk of causing problems and when they finally start to recede in First Warning Weather.
And last night's storm feels like deja vu for many towns. The 1 year anniversary marked yesterday in Waterbury as neighbors there wake up to a familiar sight.
NBC5 News Today starts now.
6 o'clock on this Thursday morning. Thank you for waking up with us. I'm Lauren Granada. This morning we are facing evacuations, road closures, and flooding after the remnants of Hurricane Beryl hit our region. From northern New York to central New Hampshire, some areas saw between 4 to 6 inches of rain build up in just a short period of time. Look at all this video from across our region pouring in this morning, and it's an all too familiar sight. Dozens of roads are washed out, and many homes are flooded. We'll see more of that destruction as it gets lighter out this morning. We've got Marissa standing by in the weather lab showing us what it's looking like out there right now. But first, we want to check in with you, Ben, for an update on those road closures.
And there are dozens of them around the region, Lauren. Impossible to put every single one on a weather map, but this will give you a general idea of where the most issues were yesterday evening and overnight. All of these roads remain closed as of 6:01 in the morning. So we'll check things out near Sheffield in the Northeast Kingdom. The road closed there due to flooding on Vermont Route 122 from Oregon Brook Road to Whittier Drive. Farther to the south, the St. Johnsbury area saw some issues. We have single alternate line traffic due to flooding on Route 5 right after exit 20 on 91. Marshfield, Plainfield hit super hard. This is just a sobering sight to see. Barry got another really hard hit overnight. The road closed there, or many roads closed there, I should say. But this one in particular, Vermont Route 14 Maple Ave from Plainfield Brook Road to Merchant Street. We also know Vermont Route 62 there is closed at this time. The Moortown area right around the Mad River also not in great shape. You can see Vermont Route 100B is closed from both ways from Freeman Hill Road to the intersection of Vermont Route 100. Essex County in New York also took quite a hit yesterday. Westport and just south of Elizabethtown. We can show you what's happening here on Route 9. The road blocked there between Duntley Road and County Route 6, Tracy Road, again, just south of Elizabethtown. We'll check in with Marissa in a little while, but for now, we'll show you Storm Tracker with flash flood warnings still underway in the northern part of our region. But in terms of additional rain at this time, there's not a whole lot in central or southern Vermont, and a lot of the lingering showers are starting to drift out of the Northeast Kingdom. But all of these highlighted areas where the flash flood warnings are still up, where you'll still have to watch rising rivers and maybe some additional ponding on the roads. The river flooding subsiding later this afternoon, lingering showers all the way through the evening. Lauren?
Okay, Ben, thank you. We want to take you to Plainfield now. NBC5's Anna Goober is live for us there this morning. She's been walking around there. Anna, tell us what you're seeing and who you have there with us this morning.
Yeah, Lauren, I'm here with Erica, and we are just seeing damage like you wouldn't even believe. Houses and apartment buildings just absolutely ripped apart. Erica, you said you've lived here for 5 years. How does this compare to what you've ever seen happen in Plainfield?
This is the first. I mean, last night my husband and I, we could hear the boulders just coming down the Great Brook, and we could smell earth, I mean, outside of our apartment building. And I mean, walking around this morning, this is worse than last year. I mean, our little town has gotten hit substantially hard. I mean, as you can see, like one of our bridges is gone. The apartment building over there is gone. I mean, none of that happened last year. So this is like, it's detrimental.
How does it feel waking up this morning to know that this happened just a year after the last flooding?
I mean, for me, my anxiety is through the roof. I mean, I can't imagine for other people right now waking up. But I mean, living in a community like this where you know one another, you know your neighbors, it's sad, and it's crazy to think of that this happened in Vermont and from aftermath of a hurricane that came from Texas, to be honest.
Totally. And Lauren, I'm just going to bring you over here with me really quick to see. We even have some cars that are being damaged over here. And again, this apartment right behind us had 5 extra units on it and was torn apart last night in the storm. This apartment right over here behind me on the side, you're not able to see it super well right now, but there are literally gaping holes into this apartment and 5 units ripped off of it. And we were told that the damage that we showed you before just down the river was another house that collapsed, and in addition to another house that the fire department tells us collapsed. So that equates to 2 houses that we know were completely taken down last night, in addition to this apartment complex that was just ripped apart by the storms. And again, this bridge that was just completely destroyed. So neighbors are waking up this morning saying they've just never even seen damage like this before. It is nothing comparable to what they saw last year. So we are just sending our well wishes to everyone that's going to be recovering here, and we are just hoping that everyone is staying safe this morning. But for now, we're going to send it back to you guys. That's live. We're live from Plainfield this morning.
So awful, Anna. Thank you for that. If you need shelter today, there are 2 open in Barrie and Williamstown right now. Neighbors in both towns were told to evacuate overnight. The American Red Cross has also opened a regional disaster shelter at the Barrie City Auditorium. Pets are welcome. That's located at 16 Auditorium Hill. The Williamstown Middle and High School is also open for shelter. That's located at 120 Herbert Road. And remember that if you need help or more information, you can call 211. Do not call dispatch unless it is a life or death situation. Multiple streets in Barrie are flooded once again this morning. You're looking at new videos showing people being rescued from floodwaters on Main Street via boat. Barrie City says if you are in a flood-prone area, go to higher ground immediately. A lot of neighbors in the area are also without water this morning. The town and city are under a boil water notice. In northern New York, Lewis County is one of the hardest hit areas. This was the scene in Lowville. The village is under a state of emergency, and a flood warning is in effect until 6:15 this morning, coming up in 10 minutes there. According to the National Weather Service, several inches of rain had already fallen by 10 o'clock last night. A temporary shelter is open throughout the morning. The Lowville Police Department also has stopped all non-essential travel in the village. Last night, New York's governor also urged all New Yorkers to steer clear of that high water, even if it is just a few feet.
This is what New Yorkers need to do. Stay vigilant. Do not assume that you can go out in your vehicle in one of these major storm events, especially in the areas of high flooding. It only takes 2 feet of water on the ground that can sweep your vehicle away and take you into a very dangerous situation and possible loss of life.
A garage in Addison County is ruined this morning. It caught fire after it was hit by lightning. This happened just before 8 o'clock last night on Stony Hill Road in Bristol. We have video there from the scene. Thunderstorms were moving through when it happened. They were very loud last night, Ben.
Yeah, and part of that was due to the atmospheric setup. What we had above our heads was basically a layer of air that caused the thunder to reverberate and sound louder than normal, which is why it was really booming and really impactful, I suppose you could say, the storms that came through, of course. We are watching the water levels this morning, though, on the rivers. The East Branch at the Passumpsic River in the past few minutes has now reached major flood stage and continues to rise. The Mad River near Moortown, the Passumpsic near Barnet, the Wells River, and the Winooski River all in moderate stage, either cresting or rising. This is the latest view of the Ausable River at Ausable Forks. Minor flood stage, but continuing to rise. We'll have to see if it makes it to moderate flood stage. And the Winooski River at Essex Junction, close to Lake Champlain, on the rise as a lot of that water continues to drain towards the lake into the basin. We'll have more on the forecast and more reports from the field in just a few minutes. Lauren?
Ben, thank you. Also still ahead, 1 year after last July's historic floods, recovery continues in Waterbury, how the community is facing the damage. Welcome back. Parts of northern New Hampshire are dealing with substantial flooding and storm damage this morning. Littleton was one of the hardest hit towns. Ray Brewer is at the fire department, where it's been a very long night for crews.
More rain is continuing to fall here in Littleton and around the North Country in New Hampshire, just what they don't need. Now take a look at some of the damage. This is Dells Road in Littleton. According to the fire rescue, Dells Brook is at capacity. Now officials say West Main Street was closed north of Dells Road due to damage from a possible microburst. Now Meadow Street was also flooded. This is the street that leads to the Walmart. Firefighters say about 20 people stranded. They also were multiple water rescues. Right next door in Dalton, sections of Route 135 are washed out. Dalton Fire Rescue says the area between Union Road and Cushman Brook is gone. The road was also shut down between the fire station and Bridge Hill Road. Now, the Grafton County Sheriff's Office tells us Monroe was hit especially hard. This video sent to us from Electa Ward wanted to give a shout out to all the road crews and volunteers who are helping out. Right now, officials say there's so much damage in Monroe that some people are trapped with no way out. The good news as far as the storm is concerned so far is we are not getting any reports of injuries in either Grafton or Coos counties. That's the situation here in New Hampshire. Back to you.
Now, NBC5 First Warning Weather, the area's certified most accurate forecast.
It really is heartbreaking to see all of this damage, Ben. There's a lot to look at and a lot that we'll have to clean up. Thankfully, though, the rain is lightening up.
Rain's lightening up. There will be a bit more today, but it won't be the problematic rain that we saw yesterday. More of a nuisance than anything for any flood recovery efforts. And you can see that batch of rain off to our west. That's actually the center of circulation of what was once Beryl. It's right around here, the center of low pressure. A lot of the rain we had yesterday was due to those two fronts we were talking about coming together and squeezing the moisture out of the atmosphere. That part of the system has now left. It's just the lingering shower activity that we'll have through the day today. In terms of what we have right now on Storm Tracker, locally, not a whole lot happening. We just have the last of the rain showers leaving Grafton County, New Hampshire, and exiting Essex County in Vermont. But all of the green you see on this map are active flood warnings, areas where roads are washed out. Roads are covered over with water, things of that nature. The rivers are rising. So anywhere in these green areas will have continued flooding problems, both this morning and into the early afternoon. These are all of the storm reports that we received in the last 12 hours. This gives you a really good idea of where the worst flooding was. From the Northeast Kingdom into parts of central Vermont. You just saw that live shot from Anna with all the damage there in Plainfield. Had some issues in the Champlain Valley and, of course, Essex County in New York. It wasn't just the flooding, though. We had some thunderstorms yesterday, and that came with some wind damage reports. We got this report in Bridport, Vermont, of a tree that was snapped and fell down. This was actually from Matt DiLoretto when he was in the weather lab yesterday. Thankfully, it just missed that house. They said this tree was over 200 years old, and just like that, one thunderstorm taking it out. Thankfully, nobody injured here, but another component to everything that happened yesterday, not just the water, but also the wind for some of us. But at least this morning, the water is our biggest concern, especially in the following rivers where we're in moderate flood stage and continuing to rise at this early hour. The Mad River near Moortown, the Passumpsic River at Barnet, the Winooski River at Waterbury, and Essex Junction farther towards Lake Champlain, and the East Branch of the Ausable River at Ausable Forks. All of these rivers expected to reach their crest later this morning into the early afternoon. So if I just called out a river you live near, or if you know somebody who lives near any of these rivers, you need to pay attention to that water level today. It takes a while for the rain to drain in there. It may come up through the morning. You have to be ready to leave in case that water becomes too high. We'll, of course, give you updates as needed. Temperatures today in the upper 70s, low 80s, on and off rain showers with plenty of clouds, but I do think we find some breaks in those clouds, especially the farther east you go into New Hampshire and parts of eastern Vermont. Tomorrow we'll start with clouds, but we will mix in more sun as we head into the afternoon. So Friday looks like a quieter day, a good day for recovery efforts, and the upcoming weekend will be good for that as well. The one thing I will mention about the weekend is the heat returning and building in, maybe close to 90 both of those days. So keep that in mind if you'll be out for a while. We won't have to worry about rain again until early next week with more chances for storms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All right, time now just about 6:17. Let's head back outside to Marissa Vigevany. I understand you were on your way to 22A, but you hit a little bit of a roadblock. Tell us more.
I seriously did, Ben. It's kind of been, I would like to call it an obstacle course getting around this morning. I'm kind of hitting every road closure sign and every high water sign you really could. We were in the Heinsberg area, and then we made our way onto Moncton Road. And this is one of the easy ways to get to Vergennes from the Moncton area, and there was a couple people that use this road on a regular basis to get to Vergennes, and unfortunately they have to take a long way to get around it, and I know I eventually will too. And it looks like this road was just completely washed out in the middle of it, so they'll need to repair this significantly. And you can see, if I pan over to the right here, there's high water from a creek nearby in the vicinity here. Again, a lot of these creeks and brooks don't have names, but they definitely do have an impact on a lot of our infrastructure for sure. So I'm gonna try to get where I need to be or want to be to get to New York, but it sure has been a little bit tricky this morning. So just make sure you're being safe and checking in on your Vermont alerts if you have them. And if you don't have them, you should subscribe just so you can get more information that way. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Marissa, thank you. And we want to take you back outside to Plainfield with Anna Guber, who's live for us there this morning. A lot of neighbors waking up to see buildings washed away and their homes destroyed. Anna, what are you hearing right now?
Lauren, we're continuing to talk with people out here. I'm here with Hillary, who lives just in the building behind us. And Hillary, can you tell us a little bit about what you experienced here last night in Plainfield?
Well, it was definitely terrifying and re-traumatizing. Last year we were evacuated, and it was a horrible drive to the Barry Auditorium with my dog and my neighbor's cat, and this time I didn't want to drive, and a neighbor graciously allowed me and my dog to stay in her camper. And I think that the community is just, there's a lot of shock. There's a lot of sadness and disbelief that this is happening again.
What was it like to wake up this morning and coming out to seeing this just outside of your home that you've lived in now, you said, for a good number of years?
It's like unreal, otherworldly. It's like waking up in a new setting, and it's scary because well, my apartment is on the second floor, and I was able to get up there and see. I don't know how safe it is. And my neighbors that have lost their home, they're at the heartbreak. It's just heartbreaking. Yeah. No words can really describe it.
This all happening just a year from the last time it happened. I know that must be bringing up some emotions. We were talking about how that might be triggering something from what you experienced last year.
Absolutely. I'm sure that, anyone, like all of Vermont, I mean, it's just like uncanny. It's weird. It's super upsetting. And, I do want to stress, though, I think that our community is really strong. I know that everybody here in the village of Plainfield is wonderful, and I'm sure that they'll rally around and help everybody that's been affected. And yeah.
And Hillary, where do you go from here? What are your next steps at this point?
I don't know. I'm gonna move to Maine. I don't know. I'm gonna drink some coffee, and I'm gonna let my stepmom know that I'm okay this morning, and I'm gonna just go moment to moment. I think that's all that I can do right now. Sort of like a zombie state, I guess, for the moment, but vigilant and better prepared for these types of situations. I mean, climate change, this is what's happening, and we have to be prepared for more significant weather events like this, unfortunately.
And yeah, we've been talking with a lot of people who are saying that it is the Plainfield community coming together that will likely allow this community to heal once again after the trauma they experienced last year, re-enduring that this year. So we're going to continue talking with people all morning, continuing to bring you updates on what we learned here in Plainfield. But we do want to reiterate that from the from the fire department, that everyone who has been evacuated from their homes has been evacuated safely. So that is good news. But we will continue to bring you updates. That's all from us now, live in Plainfield. Send it back to you in the studio.
And we're thinking of all of our neighbors affected this morning. Anna, thank you for that. You're taking a live look over Church Street in Burlington, 69 degrees. We'll be right back with more news and weather.
All right, 6:25 on this Wednesday. A difficult morning for so many towns, waking up to devastation from flooding yesterday evening and overnight. We will have a little more rain today, but not enough to cause additional issues. The showers we're expecting will be more of a nuisance in nature, but river floods will continue in pockets of northern New York, especially in Essex County, where some of those towns were especially hard hit. Of course, that goes without saying for parts of north central Vermont and to the Northeast Kingdom. Expect those rivers to keep climbing through the morning, then receding by the late afternoon and evening. Showers up to the north and to the south as well, but we'll mix in more breaks of sun. Less flooding issues overall to the south, but highs near 90 for a few spots in the Upper Valley. Lauren?
Ben, thank you. Our team coverage continues this morning after serious flooding in Vermont and New York, where you can find shelter if you need a place to go.